tell you about the Astro company. So, Astro company has been established in 1996, and the Astro company have 4 key areas in the business. They are by TV, radio, publication, and then digital media. And the Astro company is comprised of 2. There are the AMH or Astro Malaysia Holding Berhad, and the AOL Astro Overseas Limited. And according to its risk management guidance, the board of directors shall the first is establish a shall framework to manage the risk, and the second understand the principal risk of the all aspect of the company business, and the second recognize the business decision involve the taking of appropriate risk, and the fourth achieve a balance between risk incurred and potential return to shareholder, and the fifth ensure that there are systems in the place that effectively monitor and manage this risk, and the sixth determine the company level of risk tolerance, and actively identify, assess, and monitor key business risk to safeguard shareholder investment and the company asset. And the last is disclose in the annual report in the main feature of the company risk management framework and internal control system.
Okay guys, I will tell you about the enterprise risk management and the Astro.
So, the Astro company has adopted the concept and terminology of ISO 21000 international standard, risk management principle and guidelines 2009, and the causal process to ensure the enterprise risk management program is effectively implemented. Astro Overseas Limited. So, this company implementation and use of enterprise risk management to assist the risk-adjusted performance of portfolio of foreign investment and to make an investment decision as Astro Overseas Limited or AOL. The company responsible for all international investment, subsidiary and joint venture. And AOL's board of directors oversee the company risk management framework. The board of EOL reiterates the risk management is as important as maximum profitability, and they shall both be given equal weight in the established investment performance benchmark. So, Astro Overseas Limited objective is to achieve investment return that are considered reasonable for market in which investment and the step at which the investment is a life cycle and the risk for the investment. Let's look at the long-term success of this investment. The risk of this complex company over time not necessarily to obtain short-term gain. While the board of directors is cognizant of enterprise risk management framework and methodology, they are also mindful that the approach to its implementation varies from one investment to another depending on the size and scale of each business. And in this respect, influence of the invested company board and audit committee play an important role to ensure the process is successfully implemented.
Okay, in this section, I will talk about evolution of ERM's implementations at Astro Overseas Limited. Just like another company, Astro Overseas Limited's implementation about ERM is started with a reactive approach that talk about disaster recovery. It focuses on what if something just happens. In this approach, there is 2 points. Is action are in response of what just happened, and also the typical action plan that consists of insurance, incident reporting, and also response plans. And it then developed to proactive approach that talk about business continuity. When our business is disrupted, there are 3 points or 3 focus in this section or in this approach that focus on response to continuity of services with the list of possible disruption, and requires proactive collaboration with all of the units, and also BCP plans with IT backups. It then turned to adaptive approach with enterprise risk management that talk about how can we act to competitive gain. There are 3 points. The first one is shift from loss prevention to revenue protection, and then acting before people or our assets are impacted, and the culture of adapting and thriving in the face of complex changes while creating value. The ability of the Astro Limited in adaptive approach is plays an important role in screening the potential investment by the AOL and contribute to AOL's profitable growth strategy through the international expansion. There are 3 points in these terms. The first one is AOL's investment strategy is to focus on business in the media and entertainment sectors, including the platforms, distribution of content, businesses closely related to AMH core business. The second one is managing differences in the terms of cultures and obtaining buy-in for management. And the last one is managing the expectation of the board members. So the next section is about role of the ERM in the acquisition process. Astro is actually growing through the acquisition and therefore has a developed method to effectively and systematically create investment opportunities. This done through the layered investment risk panel. A first risk review of the opportunity pipeline is performed by the senior leadership team of Astro Overseas Limited. And if that first hurdle is clear, a second risk review is conducted that done by business development teams jointly with the ERM teams. As anyone who has ever been involved in mergers and acquisition knows, a full risk assessment prior to an acquisition is almost impossible to carry out during the due diligence process, owing to speed at which negotiation evolve to their highly confidential nature. And the third risk review is performed by the BD teams during the negotiation, and if it has been done, it turns to the operational. So the next one is overview of ERM in the acquisition process. From the initial assessment that partner management skills, expertise, and human resource, and another initial assessment, it comes to preliminary queries and existing risk treatment, mitigation strategy for the potential target. And once this preliminary risk profile has been obtained, the business development team will then identify the potential acquisition funding structures, management fees, and then return on investment, as well as exit strategy options. These analysis and scenarios are then put to the test or confirmed further. Finally, the pre-acquisition activities is turned to decision between go and no go. Recommendation to the board of the directors. If the board of the directors approves the investment proposal, the approval will normally have recommendation and stipulated condition that need to be made for the acquisition to proceed. During the monitor and the review phase, this is the second phase. The RM team will further develop the preliminary risk profile and then approved by board of the investing company and the starting point. The risk profile provides further evidence as to whether the current targets can be met under existing business conditions. It's then reasonable to assume that the strategic objectives as well as the financial and non-financial targets may be adjusted once the board, the investing companies, is fully apprised of the risk associated with the business. And then AOL's ERM function adopt the consistent methodology and has an established risk dashboard and a reporting templates for all companies within its portfolio. And the last step in this section is the post-acquisition stage is concerned with the execution of an appropriate exit or divestment strategy. These are the indicators or metrics with threshold set so as to trigger the consideration to exit strategy option and eventual execution of one of them, terminating the investment.
Okay, now I will explain about the monitor and review step of Astro company. So Astro places a significant emphasis on the monitor and review phase of its enterprise risk management framework, and to ensure the effective implementation. And the company is committed to working closely with management to safely adopt and integrate the enterprise risk management framework. And there are several key measures that have been implemented to facilitate an effective enterprise risk management implementation. The first one is a risk key performance indicator. So this measure aims to incentive business leaders to be vigilant in managing and implementing necessary mitigation strategies for their respective investment. Now I will explain about the monitor and review step of Astro company. So Astro places significant emphasis on the monitor and review phase of its enterprise risk management framework, and to ensure effective implementation. So the company is committed to working closely with management to adopt and integrate the ERM framework. And there are several key measures that have been implemented to facilitate effective ARM implementation and a long-term adaptation by the business. The first one is risk key performance indicator. This measure aims to incentive business leaders to be vigilant in managing risks and implementing necessary mitigation strategies for their respective investment. The second one is quarterly monitoring of risk management performance. So, a comprehensive report card is generated detailing areas of compliance and identifying gaps in the implementation of risk management actions. And the third one is annual review by the remuneration committee. So this is ensure a high-level oversight of the overall effectiveness of the ERM framework, and it is alignment with organizational effectiveness. And the last one is integration of ERM into introduction training. So this measure aims to familiarize the new employees with the principle and practice of ERM from the outset, promoting a holistic understanding of risk management across the organization. In summary, Astro's approach involves a combination of performance incentive, regular monitoring, high-level review, and educational initiative to ensure that swift and effective implementation of the ERM framework while promoting its long-term adoption within the business. So, Astro ERM implementation process involved the creation of joint ERM team shortly after completing the investment in an investee company. This team comprised 2 or 3 individuals from the investee company who undergo training in Astro ERM approach. The entire ERM implementation process is displayed in the Exhibit 35.6 and falls across 3 key steps: planning, rollout, and sustainability. And for the planning step, the objective is to elucidate the ERM process, establish mutual understanding, and secure buy-in from key stakeholders. And for the rollout step, implementation of the ERM process is initiated, guided by the risk committee and championed by the identified risk champion.
The next point is risk profile. This is risk map and action plans. The investor company risk profile includes its risk map and action plans for each key risk. In this picture, it illustrates how AOL tracks its summary risk profile on risk maps, identifying the inherent or gross risk rating, the residual or net risk rating, and the target risk rating. The gross risk rating is the level of risk that will prevail in the absence of treatments. The residual is the actual level of risk given the existing treatment in place. And the target risk rating is the appetite for that risk, which will be achieved through the execution of the key action plans. To simplify matters, let's assume it's focused on 6 key risks. In this picture, we can see the use numbering system where the first number represents the likelihood or probability, and the second one the potential impact if the risk materializes. This map shows simply the existing risk, but as the legend at the bottom of the chart indicates, AOL can also highlight existing risks that have been redefined and re-ranked, as well as emerging risks. The next is picture for illustrate purposes only. This is show what this means concretely for one hypothetical yet realistic case that of R2, the ability to develop creative and compelling content.
Okay, the next material we present by me. The material is about the investment performance dashboard. The investment performance dashboard is a matrix comparing portfolio entities using current investment value and total investment performance scores or TIPS. TIPS integrates qualitative and quantitative financial risk scores. The qualitative scores is AOL's method, multiplying probability and impacts for each risk. Lower scores indicate silver investment with a maximum of 160. As the legend states, the color coding of the dashboard is based on the first one, the value of AOL's investment, the second one is the financial performance and risk management of the invested company, and the last one is the effectiveness and timelines of key risk action plans. Quantitative scoring assesses depreciation in key financial metrics such gross revenue, BIPMI, EBITDA, and free cash flow. Score range from 0 to 10, with lower scores reflecting robust financial management. The color code zone, like green, yellow, red, represent potential impact on AOL. Factoring in investment size, risk management, and financial performance. Green signifies low impact due to investment size or adequate controls, while yellow suggests medium impact, considering investment size or management deficiencies, and red indicates a need for urgent attention due to high potential impact, such as poor performance or significant delays. These guidelines, though simplified, require some business acumen. A large, impeccable investment may need consistent monitoring, while a smaller, underperforming one may fall in the red zone. Over time, these guidelines have proven valuable in managing AOL's portfolio and of invested companies. Okay, that's all for me. The next material will present by my friend.
Okay, I will explain to you how to help the board to make investment decisions. So I'm going to show you in here investment performance dashboard comparison. As you can see, there's in the dashboard there's a color of green, yellow, and also red. What does this mean actually? The green side, it means that the impact to the group is low based on the performance to mitigate the risk of investment, and the action plan's implementation is effective to mitigate the risk, also completed in time basis. Meanwhile, the yellow side, it means that the impact to the group is medium based on the performance to mitigate the risk of investment, and action plans implementation, they cannot achieve the desired result, and also there's a delay in completion. Meanwhile, the red side, it means that the impact to the group is high based on their performance to mitigate the risk of investment, and the action plans implemented is they cannot produce desired result, and also there are more delays in completion. Horizontal movement in a investment performance dashboard represents the chance of the performance score. An increase in the performance score requires more attention because it could indicate that an increase in an investment risk or even an increase in a financial risk. But a decrease in the performance score, it may also call for further analysis because, as you know, reduction in the risk profile, and reduction in risk profile means that, of course, when there's a decrease in profitability, this also means that there's a stagnation in investment value. The possible strategic decision for this axis is we can start from the review of the business model, the strategic, the financial processes, and also the capital required for sustaining or growth of the business. Horizontal movement in an investment performance dashboard, it represents a change in a performance score. On the front, an increase in a performance score requires more attention. it indicates that there's an increase in investment risk or in financial risk, but decrease in a performance score is that we also call for further analysis, because as we know, a reduction in risk profile, it means that a corresponding decrease in profitability would mean a relative stagnation in investment value. The possible strategic decision for this axis is we can start from the reviewing the business model, the strategic, and also financial processes, and the capital requires to sustain or growth to the business. And the vertical movement represents a change in investment value. As explained earlier, a reduction in value indicates a lower risk in the matters as long as it is a result of selling a portion of the business. Otherwise, a decrease in valuation is obviously a negative sign. The possible actions are similar to those I mentioned earlier. Review with a view to maintain or to defect.